Hi everybody, a massive welcome to the channel. So I just want to say that I'm really sorry if this setup looks a little bit weird. I'm battling with the natural light right now, and I'm also trying to do this video quickly whilst my daughter is napping. So time is against us right now. I want to tell you the story about how reconnecting with my father went. As some of you may know, because I have spoken about this a little bit before on the channel, my dad was a massive part of my childhood. Like, he was my best friend. We were so close. But unfortunately, when my parents split up in 2011, me and my dad drifted apart, and it got to the point where it was 10 years since I had seen or heard from my dad. I think a lot of people are going to be interested as to why me and my dad drifted apart when my parents split up, and I think there's a lot of factors in there, but I think one of the biggest factors was probably the fact that I was not 100% happy with how he dealt with things when they split up. I wasn't happy with what he was saying, the things that he was doing. We were butting heads as well about how I was going to be introduced and when I was going to be introduced to his new family. He wanted me to just get stuck in straight away. He wanted to not mess about, whereas me, obviously my mum and dad's relationship had just completely fell apart. I was going through a really difficult time in my life trying to adjust. And I was not ready to meet my dad's new partner. One day, randomly, out of the blue, I got a message from his mum, so my nana, and she was saying that your dad and his wife, I'm not mentioning any names in this video, by the way, so I'll refer to them as my dad and his wife. They know that you're pregnant, because at this time I was pregnant with my daughter Ellie. They wanted to know if they could maybe reconnect, reach out. Yeah, it got to the point where we had befriended each other on Facebook. We were talking regularly. They had sent us presents and stuff ready for when Ellie was born, which was really, really lovely of them. Things were going very well, and it got to the point where we wanted to meet up with each other. For the first time in 10 years, I mean, what a big deal. We all arranged to meet up at an ice cream parlour, a local ice cream parlour. And although it was awkward, the meetup went relatively well. To be honest, there was a couple of things that I picked up on that I was a bit unsure of. So the first thing was that the conversation seemed to be very one way. It was me asking a lot of questions about them and what they'd been up to and their lives, whereas he wasn't really kind of asking much about me. And the thing is, you guys, the last time that I saw my dad was when I was still in secondary school. A lot had happened in my life. A lot was going to happen in my life. My life had changed dramatically, and yeah, unfortunately, it was all about them, and he didn't really seem all that interested in asking me any questions about my life. And also, another thing that I kind of picked up on was the fact that the odd thing that he would say gave me the impression that he was still not quite over what had happened in the past from when my parents had split up, even though he was the one that left my mum. Like, my dad wanted out of the relationship, and he was the one that left. But yet he still seemed to be very angry with my mum. We're trying to keep this video as respectful as possible. I don't want to upset anyone. I don't want to anger anybody. You know, I'm not here to disrespect anyone. It is what it is. I'm just here to share my experience in the nicest way possible. They came round to the house, I think when Ellie was like a couple of months old or something at this point. I can't quite remember. So they come round to the house and things are going okay. Awkward, but they're going okay, until my dad says something and does something that I found to be incredibly disrespectful to my mum. And I'm not going to go in depth and into detail about it, because I could sit and talk forever about it. He was just being, in my eyes, just very disrespectful to my mum, and I didn't agree with that at all. So after that happened, I was kind of turned off a little bit about meeting up with them again. And then the summer rolls around, the weather really starts heating up. It is brought up from both my dad and his wife that they are not very happy. I'm friends with someone on Facebook that they have a lot of problems with, and basically they wanted to let me know that they really weren't happy with it. And also, like, there was a couple of times where I would get random messages from his wife, and they would be really, really like strange kind of questions, and that for me was just very, very odd, you know. So there was like that as well. And at this point, I just got a really bad taste in my mouth. I wasn't getting good vibes anymore. And it was just like, right, okay, well, looks like this isn't really going to go very far, is it? And unfortunately, it didn't go very far, because the months went by and we just stopped talking. It was just before Ellie's first birthday, so it was either really late in April or early May of 2022. They decided that it was best for them to delete us off of Facebook. Completely fine, no hard feelings. I'm not really all that bothered, but I was trying to be like the bigger person. I was trying to kind of say, well, look, you know what, things aren't particularly going great with this reconnection, but you know what, I'm not going to fully close the door. I wanted to leave it open a little bit for them, mainly just so that they could keep up to date with Ellie, see how she's getting on. But unfortunately, they maybe didn't want that, or they weren't happy, and that's it. So unfortunately, it's not a very happy ending. A lot has happened, you guys. That's the thing. A lot has happened. And yeah, it's a shame that it wasn't a happy ending. No disrespect to them whatsoever. I wish them the best in their lives. I hope that they're very happy. But it is what it is. So that was the story. That's what happened when me and my dad tried to reconnect after 10 years. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, making it to the end of this video. If you like this video, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.